Step back into the world of New Jersey mob life, where family ties tangle with ruthless ambition. The Sopranos, that groundbreaking HBO masterpiece from 1999, forever changed how we see flawed heroes and moral gray areas. Today, in 2025, we revisit the iconic cast through then and now, honoring their timeless performances. James Gandolfini was 37 when The Sopranos premiered in 1999. He brought to life Tony Soprano, the tormented mob boss grappling with panic attacks, family betrayals, and the weight of his criminal empire. An interesting fact: to nail Tony's complex rage, Gandolfini drew from his own anger issues, often channeling real-life frustrations into scenes, like the infamous therapy breakdowns that felt eerily authentic. James Gandolfini passed away at age 51 from a sudden heart attack while vacationing in Italy. His untimely death shocked the world, but his legacy endures as television's ultimate complex patriarch. Gandolfini's influence paved the way for anti-heroes in shows like Breaking Bad. Lorraine Bracco was 44 when she joined in 1999. She portrayed Dr. Jennifer Melfi, Tony's sharp-witted psychiatrist, whose sessions peeled back his psyche with clinical precision and quiet empathy. Interesting fact: Bracco turned down the role of Carmela to avoid repeating her Goodfellas mob wife typecast, insisting on Melfi her real therapy experiences informed the probing dialogues. At 71 in 2025, Lorraine Bracco stays vibrant with roles in films like The Irishman and TV's Rizzoli Isles. She's a vocal health advocate, authoring a memoir on her battles with depression, and hosts a cooking show celebrating Italian roots. Edie Falco was 35 at the series' start in 1999. As Carmela Soprano, Tony's devoted yet conflicted wife, she captured the quiet storm of a woman torn between loyalty, luxury, and moral erosion. Interesting fact: Falco and Gandolfini shared genuine off-screen chemistry from pranks and late-night script reads, which fueled their electric on-screen tension. Directors often kept unscripted glances to heighten the realism. Now at 62 in 2025, Edie Falco thrives in acclaimed roles, including Nurse Jackie from 2009 to 2015, earning more Emmys, and recent turns in The Land of Steady Habits and Pain Hustlers. She's an advocate for health causes, having beaten breast cancer in 2004, and remains a Broadway force. Michael Imperioli was 33 in 1999. As Christopher Moltisanti, Tony's hot-headed nephew and aspiring screenwriter, he embodied reckless ambition and inner turmoil, stealing scenes with volatile energy that earned 2 Emmys. Interesting fact: Imperioli wrote 3 episodes, including Pine Barrens. Drawing from his own brushes with addiction, his script's snowy misadventure was inspired by a real-life New Jersey blizzard. Now at 59 in 2025, Michael Imperioli shines in White Lotus, winning an Emmy, and stars in Lincoln and the Premise. A sober advocate since the 90s, he co-hosts a Sopranos rewatch podcast, dissecting the show's psychology. His multifaceted career as actor, writer, and director upholds Christopher's creative fire. Dominic Chianese was 68 when The Sopranos premiered in 1999. He portrayed Corrado Jr. Soprano, Tony's scheming uncle and rival boss. Interesting fact: Chianese's real-life tenor voice shone in Season 3's finale, where he performed the Neapolitan aria, Cor Ingrato, at a family gathering drawn from his own folk-singing roots. Now, at 94 in 2025, Dominic Chianese remains a vibrant force, performing folk songs and sharing Sopranos stories at New York events like his Maytown Hall appearance. He's grieved the recent loss of his daughter Sarah to cancer, but channels resilience into music and theater, with his album Ungrateful Heart echoing Junior's timeless gravitas. Steve Van Zandt was 48 in 1999. As Silvio Dante, Tony's trusted consigliere and bada bing manager, he blended cool calculation with volcanic temper, drawing from his rock star roots for Silvio's slick persona. Interesting fact: Bruce Springsteen personally urged Van Zandt to join after seeing his music video cameo off-screen. His E Street Band improvisations influenced Silvio's lounge lizard flair. Now, in 2025 at 74, Steve Van Zandt balances acting in Lilyhammer with music production and activism against apartheid. He's narrated documentaries on rock history and mentors young artists. His dual legacy as musician and mob sage keeps Silvio's strategic vibe resonating in global tours and HBO specials. Tony Sirico was 56 when the show began in 1999. He played Paulie Walnuts Gualtieri, the superstitious silver-haired enforcer whose comic timing and fierce loyalty. Interesting fact, with 28 real arrests in his youth, Sirico only auditioned if Paulie never became a rat. His street authenticity came from actual Colombo family ties. Tony Sirico died at age 79 in a Florida assisted living facility. He had battled dementia for years, with no specific cause announced. His legacy as the ultimate wise guy lives on through Paulie's quotable chaos, inspiring tributes, and his philanthropic work for veterans. Robert Iler was only 14 at the 1999. As A.J. Soprano, Tony's brooding, underachieving son, he captured teenage angst and privilege's pitfalls with awkward authenticity. Interesting fact, Iler's real-life poker hustles inspired A.J.'s aimless schemes behind the scenes. He skipped school for shoots. Now, at 40 in 2025, Robert Iler balances sobriety since 2013 with podcasting on Not Today, Pal, alongside Jamie-Lynn Sigler, earning acclaim at the iHeart Awards. He returned to acting in Netflix's Bad, his first major role since 2009, while pursuing poker in Vegas, transforming A.J.'s lost potential into a grounded, multifaceted life. Jamie-Lynn Sigler was just 17 when The Sopranos premiered in 1999. As Meadow Soprano, Tony's sharp-witted, Princeton-bound daughter, she embodied teenage rebellion and vulnerability. Interesting fact, Sigler hid her multiple sclerosis diagnosis during filming to avoid being recast. Her real-life fatigue added raw depth to Meadow's tense family scenes, like the emotional college drop-off, which mirrored her own struggles. Now, at 44 in 2025, Jamie-Lynn Sigler manages MS. She stars in Big Sky and hosts the Not Today, Pal podcast with Robert Iler, earning iHeart Award nods. Her advocacy, including the Me Essie podcast with Christina Applegate, inspires resilience, reflecting Meadow's strength in facing life's challenges. Aida Turturro was 36 when The Sopranos debuted in 1999. As Janice Soprano, Tony's manipulative, free-spirited sister, she brought chaotic energy, clashing with family while chasing her own schemes. Interesting fact, Turturro, cousin to actor John Turturro, improvised Janice's wild rants, drawing from real family arguments. Her ad-libbed hippie vibe came from her own brief bohemian phase in the 80s. Now at 63 in 2025, Aida Turturro continues acting, appearing in Law & Order, SVU, and indie films like The Blacklist. She manages rheumatoid arthritis, advocating for chronic illness awareness, and supports arts education through theater workshops. Drea de Matteo was 27 when The Sopranos premiered in 1999. As Adriana La Cerva, Christopher's glamorous but doomed fiancée, she portrayed loyalty and desperation, earning a 2004 Emmy for her heart-wrenching. Interesting fact, de Matteo nearly lost the role due to her Brooklyn accent being too soft. She trained with a dialect coach to amplify Adriana's tough edge. Now, at 53 in 2025, Drea de Matteo stars in Tulsa King and hosts the Gangster Goddess podcast, diving into Sopranos lore. A single mom of two, she's vocal about personal struggles and supports animal rescue charities. John Ventimiglia was 35 when The Sopranos premiered in 1999. As Artie Bucco, Tony's childhood friend and restaurateur, he delivered a heartfelt mix of loyalty and frustration. Interesting fact, Ventimiglia, a real New Yorker, ad-libbed Artie's cooking tips from his Italian family's recipes. His unscripted tirade in Cold Stones about risotto was so authentic. Now, at 62 in 2025, John Ventimiglia thrives in indie films like The Trouble with Callie and guest spots on Blue Bloods. He's a painter, showcasing art in Brooklyn galleries, and supports local theater. He continues acting with a recent role in Jessica Jones, echoing Artie's resilient spirit. Maureen Van Zandt was 47 when The Sopranos premiered in 1999. As Gabriella Dante, Silvio's loyal and poised wife, she brought quiet strength to the mob wives' world. Interesting fact: a former ballet dancer, Maureen choreographed Gabriella's graceful movements, like her poised walk in the Pine Barrens episode. Now at 74 in 2025, Maureen Van Zandt remains active in theater, directing off-Broadway plays and mentoring young actors. She joins husband Steve in E Street Band tours and supports music education charities. Her recent cameo in a Sopranos anniversary special keeps Gabriella's understated grace alive. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.